everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Anna Gibson, and today we are going to talk about a number of things regarding eating disorders and heroin. My problems with those two things, and but first of all, I'm gonna begin on a completely different note. Telling you guys all my favorite cartoons. I really like The Prince of Egypt, Gallivants, and by the way, shout out to Saberspark. He's one of my favorite YouTube channels, and he needs to make a video about Gallivants. Actually, that movie is free on YouTube, and it's about an orange ant named Shando. I named my dog after him, so it would be really cool if Saberspark could make a video about Gallivants. Anyway, I also really like Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, The Lion King, Fritz the Cat, Day, which I discovered that through Saberspark, by the way, Watership Down, anything by Miyazaki, and there's a number of others which just don't come to mind right now. And also, I wrote a little summary of Gallivants, if you want to hear it. It's about an orange ant named Shando, who finds himself, or rather his kabump, through realizing the meaning of responsibility with humility and courage. He was a special ant. And Shando here is a very special dog. He's asleep over there. I don't know if you can see him. It's hard for me to even be able to look at that with the light shining in my eyes. When I was a little kid, my favorite movie was The Lion King. It still stands as one of my top 5 favorites. I also loved the movie Gallivants. It is an epic story, yet I don't know anyone who has seen it outside my family. I also loved Looney Tunes. That goes without saying. Daffy Duck has always been my favorite. He's a very endearing character, despite his many shortcomings. I like those types of characters in movies. Steve Buscemi, if I spelled that correctly, is a good example. Also a favorite actor of mine. I also dig Harry Dean Stanton, Katharine Hepburn, etc. So, there's a little tidbit about me and some of the things I like. But I love cartoons, and actually one of my favorites, and I watch it every day, is King of the Hill. I love that show so much. So, anyway, today we are going to talk about anorexia, and I'm going to read my journal to you. Anorexia. One of the worst parts of anorexia. The 24/7 obsession, perpetually afraid of gaining even the slightest ounce, constantly wondering what breakfast is going to be. Oh my gosh, night after night. Obsessing. What's breakfast going to be? What's breakfast? Now, I can't deny that there wasn't some pleasure to that, because anticipation is pleasure. That's where dopamine is processed in the brain. Dopamine is basically anticipation. Then when we get that item or substance of pleasure, then it's like the dopamine starts to drop, and then your opioid receptors are activated. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that I'm not off in some way, but from what I've read, that seems to sum up dopamine in a way, or at least a little bit. Okay, so I don't know. These aren't even good for you, and I don't know if I should be smoking it on camera, or vaping it, I mean. Okay, so life is too short. With anorexia, time went by too slow. While I missed out on friends and adventures, I spent most of my time hungry and depressed. So much time was wasted. So much time that I could have, been helping others or making new friends or saving, working, drawing, going to classes and getting more out of my subjects, and etc., etc., etc. I could have gone a lot more out of life. It isolated me. It turned me into an empty, obsessive shell. And it does that to everybody who succumbs to it in a way. Anorexia takes a toll on the brain. It takes a toll on the heart, both literally and figuratively. My only sanctuaries were my art materials and books, but even then I could not find the same pleasure that I had before. And even then I was reading a lot of anorexia books. It will catch up to you. Your deprived state isn't sustainable. You need adequate energy and nutrients to survive in the long run. Anorexia leads to slow and painful death. If not death of the body, death of the mind. Much like heroin, it deprives one of everything good. It strips one of their innocence, memories fail to show their colors, or even stick. All the while, my jealous mother called me names and had to make it about her. She would ask for diet tips one moment and say cruel things the next. Anorexia feels like a gray, dark, hopeless place. No distraction is enough to subdue the perpetual torment. I've always been unusually tactile. I chewed on the collars of my shirts if they were itchy. I couldn't wear underwear. I couldn't let anyone touch me, especially around the middle. Couldn't stand elastic bands. This has improved, and I'm not nearly as tactile, or at least not painfully so. I wear underwear, thank you very much. White tee and straight jeans for me, please. I walk a lot, and what with how active I've been over the course of a decade, I have acquired somewhat of a six-pack. So, that's actually very encouraging, that just gaining muscle and getting stronger. I feel better, both in the body and mind. So, to anyone who's struggling with an eating disorder, I highly recommend researching nutrition and getting adequate balanced amount of exercise and yoga, even and meditation to help both body and brain become stronger. Now, if I had been better educated back in the day, I don't know if my eating disorder would have lasted as long or if it would have been as bad as it was. I would have never conceived of the hard road ahead of me. I never did. I had no idea that I had anorexia when I first got it. But I learned quickly enough what it was when, just a year later after, becoming obsessed. Of course I realized that, I'm becoming obsessed. I'm something's happening in my brain. But I never knew what anorexia was. That vocabulary was not familiar to me. And my God, the chewing and the spitting, that was so bad. I remember my first boyfriend caught me doing it one time and he just laughed about it. He thought it was amusing or something, and never really made any moves to try to stop me from doing it, which, of course he couldn't have stopped me. No one could have stopped me from doing that. That was something that I had to stop myself. In fact, I needed to go get help. In fact, I should probably bring this up with my therapist at some point because I haven't. All I know is that, I've gotten a lot better with food, and but I can't just rely on myself. I might slip. I might make a mistake. Something might happen. In fact, I was upset a moment ago. I was about to go get some cigarettes. And then I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to be able to afford to get out of here if I keep buying cigarettes. I'm not going to be able to save up and do anything with my life if I keep smoking. Or, I don't know. It seems that way. It's hard to be able to afford anything even when you have a job, especially if you have people to support. Anyway, I'm digressing. It's just me and my dog here, and I really need to start reevaluating my priorities. Anyway, I don't know what I could have done at the time because I was messed up. But I wish I would have been more engaging and outgoing and lively with my friends. Yes, there's always the I wish I could have done this different, I wish I could have done that different, but really, could I have? I don't know. Maybe. I guess it depends on the situation. It seems like I would have probably required a little push from some outside source. Because certainly I didn't have the motivation, the strength, the courage, the will to do any of it. So it seemed like it was almost impossible for me at that time. But after the fact, when you're nice and clean, it's so easy to think I could have done this, I could have done that differently. Well, none of that matters anymore. It's all irrelevant. The only thing matters is that I'm clean now. I've been clean for well over a year, and my eating disorder is getting better. I've been eating well and getting my exercise and striving to continue on this path without relapsing. And my gosh, my personal relationships wouldn't have suffered so much. I talked about all that in my last video. Now I'm going to read to you guys this one last bit. It's called Anorexia and How It Influenced My Heroin Addiction. When I was given heroin for the first time, I chased the dragon. At first, I was just really curious, and I wanted for my social anxiety to at least subside a bit. I wanted something that would help me to rest easy. Hell, I wanted to find something, anything, to replace the miserable obsession with food and all of my insecurities. While I only realized its effectiveness in suppressing appetite and eliminating all other obsessions after a while of using, I just wanted something to quiet my mind and get rid of the anxiety. My friend said, "Here, this will definitely help you," and my curiosity got the better of me. I was in a fragile state, but at the time I never connected the aftermath of my dear grandma's death, my first semester of college, and the trauma of moving from one unpleasant and toxic environment to the other, to my terribly rash mindset and decisions. Whenever I did try to get clean on my own, I failed within the first month. During my first attempt at professional treatment, all someone had to say was, "You've put on some weight." And completely governed by my impulses, I ran over to my dealer's apartment. The guilt and shame which followed left a dark pit inside. I had been drinking copious amounts of alcohol, and I was suffering with alcohol withdrawal. My initial excuse was that I wanted to stop drinking while using heroin as a temporary substitute, but I couldn't stop. Desperate to quit drinking, it was going to kill me, and desperate to lose the weight, or rather water weight for the most part, fell once again into the most lonely, dark existence, numbed by that soul-deceitful pleasure that would inevitably rob me of everything I cared about. It doesn't work out that way. And at that time, whether I was constantly drinking, and especially when I was numbified by heroin 24/7, I was saying yes to everything. I was just willy-nilly saying yes to everything anybody said. Anyone asked me to do something, I'd do it. I mean, I guess not anything, and it depends on who asked me. But like when my roommate asked if we wanted to be roommates, I said yes. Had I had a clear head, and if I had taken in all the ramifications and what my addiction might do to her, I would have never done that. But I was not in the right state of mind. That's why it's important, even if other people judge you, even if you feel like you're losing friends or the world is against you or whatnot. The most important thing is that you're clean and you have compassion for yourself. Because my God, if I were on the outside looking in and I could see someone really struggling and trying to stay clean, as I have at least, I mean, I would give them a round of applause. I don't mean to seem like I'm asking for a pat on the back. I'm not. But my point is that we can be so mean to ourselves and lacking in compassion towards ourselves. It's really important to treat other people the way you want to be treated, but also treat yourself kindly. You know, if you treat other people kindly, treat yourself kindly too. Why shouldn't you be deserving of happiness like everybody else? Yeah, so I mean, during my first attempt at professional treatment, all someone had to say was, you're gaining weight. And then, completely governed by my impulses, I was running over to that dealer's house. Whether it was icy out, whether it was a blizzard, and even if I was dope sick in it, it's amazing what the mind can do, or what it can put itself through, and what it can put the body through to get what it wants. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what? Oops, that was gross. And now that I'm clean, how do I cope with my eating disorder? I'm trying to get all the adequate fats, proteins, and micros, educating myself on nutrition and all that, getting exercise, having my sweet canine companion by my side, meditation and prayer, all the colors in the food and whatever I'm eating, therapy, helping and reaching out to others like me, practicing self-compassion, like I just mentioned, and journaling. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because you are worth it, and I'm worth it. We're all worth it. Hell. It helps me quit smoking, and I hope. But I'm just glad I didn't falter and buckle and go get some, because it's not doing me any good. financially, health-wise, mentally, blah, blah, blah. So I think that'll conclude the rest of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope that my videos aren't going around in circles. Sometimes it feels that way to me because it's, you know, the story of my anorexia, and a lot of it was going around in circles. A lot of it was just the same patterns every single day. And that, my friend, leads to sheer misery that I wouldn't wish on anyone, even the people who've hurt me the most in life. I only hope that I really wish the best for them. I just hope that they become better people. I hope that they can cultivate compassion, honesty, and understanding, and stop judging everybody else or people who don't think, look, or act like you. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, whatever time it happens to be, depending on where you're living, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Bye-bye.